Hey y'all! Welcome to Fibretown. I'm Emily, Chain of Fools on Ravelry and Plurk. I have an Instagram account now, so if you want to find me there, I am Fibretown with an R-E. And can you believe Chain of Fools was taken? So I'm also on Blogspot, fibretown.blogspot.com, and on YouTube, and on the Ravelry group. So hey everybody, it is Wednesday, March 27th, 2013. It's about, what time is it? Almost noon. I'm recording later than usual, but I'm happy to be here. It is spring break to be exact, and I'm not having quite the spring break I thought I would. And I'll talk about that more later, but the title of the show is Spring Broke. So, I want to say hey to Michelle, who is Quilt and Knit Girl. She's from Houston. Same place as my friend Veronica, who's in the hospital. Keeping her babies in the oven until they're ready to be born. She's the one who's having twin girls. And yeah, Quilt and Knit Girl said she bought some of the Meducell Bulky and she's going to make something cable-y out of it. So I can't wait to see that. All right, so let's get straight into show and tell. You all want to see my magic socks? These haven't been blocked yet, and they do need to be, but they're my Nyan Cat socks. You can see that little ladder from my magic looping. That should go away. Number one, number two, and this one's, oh, it's all saggy. Come here up there. That's why they need to be blocked. Da-da-da-da. I do my own vanilla formula. I do a cuff for about 6 inches. Well, I guess this is the cuff, the leg, for about 6 inches. Then I do a slip stitch heel flap, and then I turn the heel, and I do a gusset on the bottom. It's the same as in the Breaking Hearts sock. Let me take this off and show you all. You've seen it before. And there it is. It's that diamond-shaped gusset, instead of having the gusset here on the instep. And yeah, I knit for about another 6 and some inches, and then I do a toe. And they're wonderful. They make me happy. I think they're magical. And I love how Ravelry, as soon as you type in Nyan Cat, it'll give you the little Nyan Cat symbol. So that's awesome. I whipped those out last week. I had a lot of doctor's office time to knit, so that's when I finished those. And I did those on US 1.5s, and those are 2.25 millimeters. And I had to switch over to my ChowGoo 40-inch circulars to do those 2 at a time because my carbons broke, and hopefully those will get replaced pretty soon. The carbons people actually responded to last week's podcast thread and said, please contact us, and we want to make you happy. So they seem to have really good customer service, so if you have any problems with the carbons, they seem to be there and will help. So I did have another show and tell this week that I started maybe 2 days ago. And I made this once before, and it's super, super fast. It's a fun knit. It is a necklace. And I took that spindle spun Angora Merino that came from my friend Jill's Satin Bunnies. And I was going to make maybe baby socks. No, I'm not. I changed my mind. I made the cable braided necklace by Olga Buria Kafelian. And she's got this blog called Olga Jazzy. And this was a free pattern. This is the cable braided necklace out of my hand spun Angora Merino. One side looks like this, and the other like this. This could also be a bracelet, but it's a really, really fun, easy pattern. Here's I have a little vintage button on the end, and it goes around this little loop. You can crochet a loop. In this case, I just used my my ends, and I sewed them into a little loop. And it's a little choker. You can make it longer and make a bona fide necklace length. Let's see if I can get that on. There we go. Now I'm like ready for the gala. Or you can turn it around so this side is showing. How pretty is that? I did some with some Madeline Tosh sock leftovers once and gave it away as a gift. Oh, no, I can't get it off. I wanted to try it as a bracelet because it looks cool wrapped around your wrist a few times. I might be wearing this the whole podcast because I am apparently not able to get it off. I would recommend doing like a crochet chain rather than this mess that I did. Oh no, and it's not itchy at all. And Olga recommends that you use, there we go, that you use something very luxurious, cashmere, kiviot, that kind of thing, to enjoy around your neck. And I actually think it's really cool as a bracelet. Can I get it around there 3 times? Probably not. Although I have skinny wrists. Let's try again. So anyway, that's the cable braided necklace as I try to wrestle with this. Let me tell you about it. And I think it's a great pattern just also for using up those vintage buttons you might have laying around. Maybe you only have one. The other necklace I made, I used a really pretty, like, fake rhinestone-y looking. All right, there we go. Could be better, but you get the idea. So yeah, I did that on US 4s, 3.5 millimeters, and those are my show and tells for the week. I just felt like this needed to be knit, this Angora Merino, and it's lovely. It's not too fuzzy. It does have a halo for sure. But yeah, if you haven't tried that, go ahead and give it a try. It is a very fun and quick gift. She says it only takes an hour and a half to knit. I don't know if that's true, but it probably took me 3 hours, but very fast. So give it a look. Okay, so my whips. I really only have one to show you today. My 2 gray cardigans. Only one is getting love. And in fact, I showed you just the ribbing of the Ede that I had started. And I started the back, and I decided to frog and rather than do the back, do the sides, because I'm interested in doing those pockets. And I might need extra, and I figure I'll knit the sleeves and the fronts first. And then since it's a seamed, oh, I'm wearing an Ede. Since it's a seamed cardigan, if the back is a different dye lot, that should be less visible, right? I like to rationalize things. Anyway, so, and I'm more interested in knitting the pockets right now because I'm curious about that method. So that's going to get frogged, and once I need a break from my current whip, I will work on that. So yeah, this is the Ede I made out of, what's this called? Eco Plus, Cascade Eco Plus, and I used just under 2 skeins for it. It's all sorts of cables and stuff on the back. You all have seen it. It's knit in pieces, but it's super easy to seam up. See, that's where the sleeves are seamed on. It just came together like magic. And I'm not, an expert at seaming at all. So my whip doesn't require any seaming so far, and I don't think it will have any. It's amazingly different the way this is knit. This is the Old Town by Carol Sunday. And I'm using Blue Moon BFL Sport in Winter Solstice, and I'm using size US 5s. Oh, what's the millimeter on that? It's not a 4, that's a 6. It must be a 3.75? I don't know. Anyway, I've gotten a bit done on it. I've done the shoulder. I'm about to start phase 5. Remember, it's a pattern that's done in phases. Here it is so far. And I do have a little problem area right there. I'm trying to decide what to do about where I fudge the stitch count. And look, when I let go, there's this little dimple right there. But I'm thinking with blocking, it'll come out. In fact, I'm going to try to steam it today and see if that comes out. If it doesn't, I might have to frog a bit and fix that. But can you tell what part of the sweater this is? I really have to sit and think for a while, but once I do, it becomes evident. So let me strip a little and show you all how this goes on. In my knitting group, when someone tries on a sweater, we all go, take it off, take it off, take it off. Nobody's done a sweater. No, we haven't done that in a while. My knitting group's a bunch of slackers. All right. Okay, so I'm just kidding about the slacker thing. Don't kick me out of the knitting group, okay? Okay, this is the shoulder. Look at that. It has short rows, and it's a totally different short row method than what I'm used to. And here is the beginning of the front. Shoulder, front. It's got this nice laceness. It'll come down. And then there's the back. So I'm about 4 inches past the center of the back. And I'm not exactly sure what part is going to be next, but it is an adventure, and I'm just always like up for it. So let me put my A-Day back on. So yay, that is a very fun construction, never boring, and I think it's going to be a really nice sweater. I love the fabric, and yeah, alrighty, dressed again. Spinning. I got nothing. Remember all those pretties I got last week? I couldn't even touch them. And do you know why? Because last week, on Wednesday night, I was playing our family game called Roof Ball. And when you play roof ball, what happens is that you get one of those bouncy supermarket balls or a tennis ball. You throw it on the roof, and you try to be the one to either catch it or hit it when it comes down. So I was doing a variation of roof ball with my son and the dog. My husband wasn't home, and I had a tennis racket. So we were throwing the tennis ball up there, and he was hitting it, he had a racket too, or I was hitting it. The dog, Alice, was trying to catch it. And so it's kind of chaotic, but it's a lot of fun. Except when you break your foot, then it's not fun. So if you play roof ball, try not to break your foot. That's the moral of the story. But I broke my foot. So I was going for a backhand. I had a really good shot and tumbled off of the patio. Boom. And I'm told that the roll that I did, I could feel myself rolling. It was pretty spectacular. It was like Wonder Woman. No, it looked ridiculous, I'm sure. And landed muddy, filthy. It's wet here. It's been cold. It snowed this week. Never snows. It snowed twice in DC in March. So it was all muddy and cold and yucky. And I was laying there, and I could not get up. And it was very painful. Somehow, I hobbled myself in the house, parked myself on a chair, and stayed there until my husband got home, reassuring my children all the time. I thought it was just a bad sprain. I've done that to my other foot before. This was the left foot, thankfully. About 15, 17 years ago, I fell down the stairs in a castle in Spain and did the same thing to my Spanish foot. I call it my Spanish foot. They said it wasn't broken. I don't know. Anyway, I broke my 3rd and 4th metatarsals. Fractured. I mean, it's not a major thing at all. I just have one of those boots, and I'm able to get around really well in it now. I don't need crutches now. And so my curve of healing has been exponential. I'm very, very hopeful that I'll be back to normal in just a few weeks. So I have to see the orthopedist again in 3 weeks, and I'll get the verdict then. I'll get it x-rayed again and see where I go from there. But the morning after this happened, I didn't go to the urgent care when it happened. I was like, it's just a sprain. And I woke up and, what's the point in spending the evening and the night potentially in the emergency room or whatever? I'll deal with it tomorrow. So spent all day, first in the urgent care, getting x-rays and saying, yep, you got a broken foot, go to the orthopedist. And I spent the afternoon at the orthopedist, and they fitted me for the boot and so forth. I forgot to ask the orthopedist, the time frame for healing. I was in a doctor's office all day. I was done. He said, do you have any more questions? I'm like, no, I'm going home. The next morning, I woke up and my very first thought was, no kidding, what about Maryland sheep and wool? Because that is a walking intensive event. Yeah, it's in 6 weeks, now 5. But I was worried. You know how much I look forward to that day, that weekend. So I think I'm going to be okay by then, just judging on how I've done so far this week. So very hopeful. Now back to the spinning. I tried to spin with my boot at one point when I started feeling better. And if I give it a huge push, I can keep the wheel spinning in the direction I want it to, but it's very different. It's amazing how used you get to treadling the way that you used to. Now I started off on a one treadle wheel, and so I figured, maybe you're supposed to be able to use a double treadle as a single treadle, but the habit is just there. I'm ingrained to use it as a double treadle, so I really have to relearn how to use it as a single treadle. It keeps reversing the other way, reversing clockwise if I want to go, or reversing counterclockwise if I want to spin clockwise. So really, right now would be the perfect time to use my spindles. So, but the fiber I want to spin on my wheel. So, and I'm not going to touch the Into the World or the not the Into the World, the Unwind or the Greenwood fiber until I'm back to normal, mostly with my foot. But I think spinning on the wheel will be excellent, like physical therapy, once I can get there. So that is my story. When you play roof ball, don't break your foot, okay? Okay. The broken foot didn't stop me from going to the Vienna Fiber Farmers Market. My whole family came with me, and I was not walking well, and I had my crutches still. This was, 4 days after the event. But Deb of Finnegan's Flock had reserved stuff for me, so I was not going to let Deb down. Yeah. See how I rationalize that? I'm a woman of my word. I showed up. And it was in a community center, and I came in and said to the guy behind the desk, you don't happen to have a wheelchair, do you? Because it's not easy to get around on those crutches and do what you need to do shopping-wise. He's like, no, sorry. So I pushed on, and he came and found me like a minute later and said, I do have a rolling chair, like a desk chair. Do you want that? And I was like, no, I'll be all right. And then I wasn't all right. And I hobbled back out and said, I will take you up on the desk chair thing. Here, I'll trade you my crutches for the desk chair. And I rolled around in the desk chair. And I took my freak show to the Vienna Fiber Farmers Market, run by Uniquities, and I did do a lap around to look, but it was crowded and I was in people's way, and I had my 5-year-old on my lap, and it was a freak show. It totally was. So let me just show you what I got from Finnegan's Flock. Super nice people. Finn sheep fiber, Finnegan's Flock. Oh, I wanted to talk to you guys about the Finn sheep. I was going to bring my Fleece and Fiber source book. All right. This is from a badger. This is from a badger fleece. Smells so good. And I've got 5 of these, which makes 20 ounces. Could that be a vest? It's so nice. It's so nice. I can't wait to spin this. It is roving. It is not combed top. And that's what I want because it was so awesome to spin. All of the fibers they're not perfectly aligned. They're jibbly jabbly, wibbly wobbly, like tangled plate of spaghetti. And it's perfect for long draw. And I am going to draw the long out of this and make something awesome, a 2-ply. And I can't wait. I'm not going to force that back in the bag right now. But oh, it's a badger fleece, which means that it is from a sheep. I don't know how well you can tell. It has a silvery, maybe if I bring it back, it has a silvery color to it, but there are bits of darker black in it, sort of threaded through it. And a badger fleece is from a sheep that has dark markings on its face, and it may have a lightish fleece, but there are going to be patches that are dark, maybe on the belly or maybe hidden patches underneath that are discovered once you shear the sheep. So I learned something, which is always nice. And I think that'll just make a lovely heathered effect in the finished yarn. So here's what I remember about Finn sheep, and maybe I'll just hobble over and get the book because it's not far away. It's a very soft fleece, although there's a variation between animals sometimes. It can be more on the medium range. They are well known for being one of the most prolific mothers, and the ewes can lamb up to 9 lambs at once. I think most sheep have 1, maybe 2. 9. That's like a litter of lambs. And they're really beautiful sheep. And guess what? I brought a sheep home. Except it was just not the whole sheep. It was this. It's Burketta. And I could not resist. This is amazing. Let me just take a little lock of Burketta. And one of the things I love about Finn is that it's soft and lovely. However, it is not very lanolin-y, like the Rambouillet cross I had. So greasy. So greasy. Look at Burketta. That's one staple. I don't know, it's about 3 inches. Can you hear that? Probably not. Couple of dirty tips here, but for the most part, look at the crimp. It's gorgeousness. Now, the whole fleece is not as crimpy. There are parts that are less crimpy, to be so scientific about it. This is totally a dirty fleece, but look how beautiful that one is. So there's a huge variation in the fleece itself, and these are just different. I'm guessing this very crimpy one is from the saddle, the back, and this is probably more of the under. She's lovely. Deb said that this was her 6th or 7th shearing, and it's about 2.5 pounds. Feels heavier though. I seem to have lost the tag that came with it. I'm super excited. So she's going to behave much better than my Rambouillet cross. I can just tell. And Joanna Spring, she made me buy it pretty much. She said my problem child fleece needed a sibling. And I'm hoping that will make everybody happy in the family. So as soon as I am on this foot, I am processing that fleece. And I'm carding it on my carder. And can you all excuse me a sec while I go get the Fleece and Fiber Source book? Hang on. Ugh. That wasn't too bad, was it? This thing is so much fun to read through. Of course, I'm going to have to look up the Finn thing again. I should have marked it. So the Fiber Farmers Market was awesome. I'll talk about it as I'm looking for my spot here. They have a spinner's circle where everybody gets in the middle and spins together and hangs out and so forth. And a lot of wonderful stuff that I wish I could have gotten a better look at, but I think they might do it twice a year. So, alrighty, you want to see a picture of this little Finny sheep? There they are. How cute, right? They're also known as Finnish landrace. They are an ancient Scandinavian breed La 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 la. Their wool is often described as silky. It is more sleek than fluffy. It has a nice amount of crimp that gives yarn spun from it a pleasant resilience. There's not a lot of grease, so it's easy to clean and prepare. It felts very easily. Now they say it should be combed, or it's amazing combed. I don't have combs. We'll see how it does carded. The staple length is from 3 to 6 inches, so looks like this is on the shorter staple length side, which will generally mean that it's going to be softer. So, okay, one more acquisition. My sheep and wool catalog came. And this year is the 40th anniversary. Can you see that? So it is as old as I am. I am slightly older than the Sheep and Wool Festival because I turned 40 in October. I love poring over this thing. It costs $5. I think it supports the festival if you buy it. And what I love to do is go through the vendor list. It is a long list. There's some more pages. And I like to underline the vendors I want to see, my priority vendors. And then I look at where they're located. And, hang on, I plan. There's the map of the festival. I plan my route. So I hit my priority spots, and then I just sort of wander, meander, see what I want to see. And my foot had better be completely healed. Because that is a physically demanding day, let me tell you. Alrighty, up and coming. I think I'm gonna knit some chubby chirps for my little ones for Easter. With some scraps. Have you all seen these? I was gonna knit the bunny nuggets, but they have pom-poms for the tails. I hate making pom-poms. No. No bunny nuggets for you. Maybe I'll make bunny nuggets, but just without the pom-pom tails. That would work. They have cute little ears. So yeah, I'm going to make a little Rebecca Danger freebie for Easter for them. And that is about it. I'm getting long on time here. I was going to show you guys some previous blankets I had made. All right, real quick. My son said, "Mama, you gotta show them my blanket." So here it is. This is the very first blanket I ever made. It is crocheted. It is made out of red heart, the super soft one. 14 skeins of it. I don't remember the pattern. It was out of a booklet. It's on my Rav project page. It is so warm. It is flammable, yes. It is made out of petroleum products, but it is super warm. And it washes up pretty well. So that is his blanket. And the other blanket is a whip. It is like a forever whip. It is this blanket. This is called the Crazy Blanket. And you can make this out of, obviously, scraps, sock. It's a little bit like the sock yarn blanket, except for the miters don't all go in the same direction. You can see they go in different directions on different rows. But this is like a very nice recipe, and I'm doing out of worsted weight scraps. And that was from the Living Crafts magazine. I don't know if this is still being published. I haven't seen it at Joann's in a while. My friend Mary Lee gave me a bunch of extras she had, and I was delighted to find that pattern. So here I am. I've left off mid square. All right, I'm about to finish row 4. There we go. All scraps, some that my friends have given to me. And it's nice to go back and remember what these yarns were used for. and which project I had used the bulk of the yarn for. Now, there are a few ends to weave in, just a few. So I'm thinking maybe I can line it. I have company, sorry for the distraction. Yeah, so maybe I could line it like a quilt. So this has been on the back burner for a while, but it's something I pick up every once in a while, and I can probably knit two squares a day. So that is my blanket. Anything else to talk about? Yes, the March Finished Objects thread. I will draw for that next week. And Danger Mouse, thank you for being patient on the whole mailing your Romney to you. It's going to happen in the next week or two. So I'll get that out as soon as I can hobble to the post office or get my husband to do it. Thankfully, I theoretically can drive because I hurt my left foot. And yeah, so tune in next week to see if you won for the March FOs. And if you haven't entered your stuff, enter it, please. I love looking at what everyone makes. And you guys are awesome. And if you play roof ball, don't break your foot. How many times can I say it? Not enough. So yeah, I hope y'all have a great week. And think of broken little old me. And I will see you then.